It's Thursday, January 13, 2022. I'm Todd Dunn, and I am currently on my way across the island to make another stop at the supermarket in Bar Harbor. And I thought that I would show you a bit of the drive. Right now, we're just coming into Southwest Harbor. It's an overcast day, but it's warm. My truck says it's 29 degrees right now. On Tuesday, we had a daily high of about 5 degrees. So quite a change. And it's supposed to get up to around 40 this afternoon. So what I'm going to do is periodically turn the camera on the drive across the island. And we will have a look at what there is to see. Now, last Friday we had a big snowstorm and got almost a foot of snow. Then on Sunday it warmed up and rained, and then we went into the deep freeze. And you can see the result here as we enter downtown Southwest Harbor. There's a bit of snow on the ground, but the bulk of the foot has melted or sublimed away. And the roads are a little bit damp because yesterday we had just a dusting, maybe a 1/4 inch of snow, just to kind of whiten up the rather dirty snow piles a little bit, not completely, as you can see if you look off to the right hand side of the image. But there's a little fresh snow on the snow that's been piled up by the snow plows here in Southwest Harbor. And this is sort of typical appearance for this part of Mount Desert Island this time of year. And we might get just a dusting of snow tomorrow. The National Weather Service says less than 1/2 inch. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that was downtown Southwest Harbor, and I'm going to shut the camera off for a while until we get to something else a little bit more interesting than just the road. Right now we're approaching Soamsville. We're at the north end of Echo Lake. You can see it a little bit off to the left there. It is frozen, although I wouldn't walk on that ice. That freeze up of the lake has happened in the last 4 or 5 days. So it's not thick enough yet for people to put their ice fishing shacks out. But the lake is frozen over, and if we continue to have cold weather, it will, the ice will gradually thicken up. But the forecasts are, you know, for the temperatures to be up and down, above freezing, then back below, and so forth. This weekend we're supposed to have a little bit of cool weather, but then most likely it will warm up again. Okay, I'll stop until we get into Soamsville. We're coming into Soamsville now as I slow down for the 25-mile-per-hour zone. And here we are in Soamsville proper. Now, Soamsville is in the town of Mount Desert, so it is not a separate town. It's just a village. And you can see it's pretty quiet here. And in just a second, we're going to go past the little mill pond at the head of Soam Sound. Here's the mill pond. Still a little bit of open water, and Soam Sound is not frozen here at the head of the sound in Soam's Harbor. Tide is pretty low right now though, so there is no water right alongside the road. That high tide spot we just passed has water right up next to the road. Okay, so this is Soamsville, and in just a minute we will be through the main part of residential Soamsville and up to the commercial part of Selmsville, where there's a gas station, a convenience store, and a couple of other businesses across the street. You can just see the gas station, convenience store ahead up there past the stoplight. And this is one of 3 operational stoplights on the island during the winter. And the other 2 are right at the head of the island when you first come on. And there's also one as we go into Bar Harbor. And there's one other stoplight that operates in the summer for the turnoff to go to the National Park Visitor Center, and that stoplight is just outside Hull's Cove on the north end of the island. But they shut it off in the winter because the road to the visitor center is closed. Okay, now we've driven through Selmsville, and we're going to drive across the north end of Soam Sound, although we will not really be able to see the water because the road is just inland. And then we're going to turn north and head toward Bar Harbor. Well, I just turned on to Route 233, which goes from the north end of Soam Sound to Bar Harbor. And this will go up past the Acadia National Park headquarters, past Eagle Lake and the Eagle Lake Carriage Road access, and then past the turn to go up to Cadillac Mountain, which is currently closed, and then into Bar Harbor. This little stretch of road is about 4.5 miles long, so it usually takes about 8 or 9 minutes. And you can see there's still snow alongside the road, but you wouldn't guess that we had a foot of snow 6 days ago. Okay, the road here is, this time of year, is not too scenic, although occasionally we'll get views up toward Cadillac Mountain from down here. But mostly we just see the trees alongside the road, and mostly deciduous trees here. And since this is winter, they don't have any leaves, and it looks kind of gray and bleak. We just passed the Acadia National Park headquarters, which doesn't have any public services, but I turned the camera back on because we are now descending a little bit to Eagle Lake and the Carriage Road access there. As we come down, Eagle Lake is off to the right, and you might just catch a glimpse of it. It should be frozen over. Yes, it is. I'm going to pull into the Carriage Road access just to show you what it looks like here at 11:30 on January 13, 2022. And you can see there are a few people here, and I imagine there are some die-hard skiers and some walkers. Although, given that it rained last Sunday and has been cold since then, I'm expecting the Carriage Road itself to be very icy. So I'm just going to turn around and we'll head back out onto the road. And you can just see snow-covered Eagle Lake through the trees across the road. Okay. But the carriage roads are open. You can walk them or ski them. Although, as I said, right now, carriage roads are probably pretty icy and not the greatest skiing. We're just gonna continue past some little pond here on the left as we head toward Bar Harbor. And the next thing we're going to pass will be the entrance to the park if you wanted to go up to Cadillac Mountain or down to Jordan Pond House. Although that would be in the summer because the road to the top of Cadillac Mountain and to Jordan Pond House from here is closed for the winter and won't reopen probably until sometime in April. It's not very far from here, and I'll just leave the camera on and speed it up until we get there. Here is the bridge that takes the Jordan Pond and Cadillac Mountain Road across the highway here. And here is the entrance. And of course, it is closed for the season. So we're just... Now the first thing we're going to pass here is the Kibo Valley Golf Course, which is closed. You can see a bit of it there. And they've even got the parking area blocked off. And here is one of the tees and green right here. And now we are in the residential part of Bar Harbor. We're going to cut across here a little bit to the stoplight as we go into the main part of Bar Harbor. Now this area, all the homes are relatively new because this area burned in the 1946 fire. So all these homes post-date that. So this is, if you will, the new part of Bar Harbor. And now we will descend down to the stoplight, and if we get lucky, we'll make the light. It's just up around this next little corner. So far, it looks like we're going to make it. Here's where we go on to the main street here, heading toward downtown. And as you can see, it's pretty quiet. Not much going on. The inns are closed for the season. Few people walking around, and it looks quite a bit snowier than it did when I was last here about 10 days ago. And right up ahead is our turn onto Main Street. So I will drive down Main Street and maybe walk up into Agamont Park to take a look out over the harbor, depending just on how snowy it is there. Village Green on the left does not have much snow on the grass. I'd say only an inch or so. As we get here to Main Street, and we'll have to wait for traffic to make our turn. There we go. Pretty heavy traffic. Quite a few cars parked on Main Street up here. Most of the businesses are closed. There are a few that are open all year, but not many. As we head down Main Street toward the harbor. And as you can see, it's pretty quiet here. This is Cottage Street we're crossing. We'll see that when we head over toward the supermarket. take a parking spot here. I think that I'll go down and park on the town dock, and we'll look at the harbor from down there. Agamot Park looks like it's a little bit icy on the paths, and I don't really want to walk on a sloping ice-covered path. So we'll go down, park on the town dock, and have a look at the harbor, which you can see out into Frenchman Bay as we come down to the harbor. Okay, we're looking toward the east. There's the Bar Harbor Inn and the main part of the harbor here at Bar Harbor. Good sized loon down there in the water, and some of the islands here that define the harbor. There's Bar Island on the other side, and you can see the bar is only partly submerged right in the middle. So I'm not sure if the tide is going in or out right now. If it's going out, it won't be long before you can walk over to Bar Island. So let's continue panning around and look up toward Main Street up there, and Agamot Park, where all the paths are covered with snow and ice, which is why I didn't go up there today. And there we go. We've just finished my 360-degree pan. So I think I'm gonna hop back in the truck and head over to the supermarket, and I'll film Cottage Street as we drive up it. I'm leaving the town dock parking area now. There's one of the town docks. That's West Street ahead, and we're going to turn up onto Main Street, go up one block to Cottage, and then head down to the supermarket. You can see it's pretty quiet here on Main Street in Bar Harbor. It's 11:37 right now. Temperature here is 28 degrees. It's usually a bit colder here than it is over on the west side of the island in Bass Harbor. And sometimes in the winter it can be much colder here, 10 or even 15 degrees. So this is Cottage Street. A couple businesses are open here, not too many, and it is pretty quiet. Go past the post office here on the right and head up here. Well, cheapest gas I've seen on the island, $3.39. It's $3.40 over in Southwest Harbor, although it said that's a cash price, so it might be more if you use your credit card. And the brick building on the right is the City Hall, and we're just going to turn into the supermarket, so I'll come back when I finish my trip. I'm finished with the supermarket, and we're headed down toward the end of Cottage Street to head back out of Bar Harbor. So turn here and get out of town. So I hope you enjoy taking this look at the trip across the island. In this video from Southwest Harbor to Bar Harbor, that's about a little over 20-minute drive. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And to get notifications when I post new videos, why don't you think about subscribing to my channel? And if you want to go all out, click that notification bell. Okay, hope you enjoyed this little look at Mount Desert Island today, and thank you for watching.